I'm Dr. Pam King, and you're listening to With and For, a podcast that explores the depths of psychological science and spiritual wisdom to offer practical guidance towards spiritual health, wholeness, and thriving on purpose.
Hello, listeners. I'm Jill Westbrook, and we're back with another installment of our current series from Pam King on the 5 A's of Agility for Spiritual Health. I'm one of the With and For producers, and I'm delighted to be introducing each of these reflections from Pam. As we're on our way to Season 2 of With and For, which is dropping with all new guests and full episodes on January 6, 2025, we're sharing shorter clips, practical features, and other talks and interviews from Pam to tide you over and help orient you towards some of the framework we've developed for thriving in spiritual health. And before I forget, I want to ask for your support. Would you join us in spreading the word about With and For Season 2? Specifically, sharing one of your favorite episodes of Season 1 with a friend, and then heading to Apple Podcasts or Spotify to rate and review our show. You'd be helping us grow and bring With and For to new listeners. Once again, thank you for your support. At this point in the series, we've gone from attunement to awareness to alignment. If you haven't heard those yet, you should probably start there. All of these steps end up building and working together. Today, Pam continues the series by talking about activation. This is where things really get moving. To this point, attunement, awareness, and alignment have kept things internal, but the activation step is where we implement a practice or exercise, make a move toward our values, or experiment with something to help us grow. So here's Pam on step 4 of the 5 A's of Agility for Spiritual Health, activation. Thanks again for listening. Enjoy.
So today we're going to talk about activation in the 5 A's of Agility and Thriving. Last time we talked about aligning to our deepest values, and today we're going to talk about activating your purpose within the 5 A's. It's when we actually start thinking about how we want to live differently, how we behave, and how we act. This can be on a broad scale of making a major life pivot, or on a daily basis. It could be, what is one thing I can do today to more clearly align my life to those values and those sources of joy and mattering that I thought about when I was considering alignment. So activating could be anything from discovery and committing to pursue and discover what your skills and gifts are. Or if you feel really clear, like, I love to write, maybe it's taking time to write in a way that you long to write in. Great activation and great behaviors in our lives are not just behaviors that benefit us, but they're behaviors that benefit others. So I encourage you, as you work through the 5 A's, when you're focusing on activation, think about how you can activate your skills, gifts, and passions for the benefit of others. Activation has to do with activating your purpose. And in some seasons in our lives, we're more clear about what our purpose is. So I can get up and say, I'm going to write a blog on thriving, because that's part of my purpose, is to help people thrive. For some of us, we might be less clear at this certain spot in our life, but we can try something that we might think will get us one step closer to either pursuing our purpose or exploring or discovering our purpose. But every day, we want to be conscientious about how we are activating for our purpose, either specifically pursuing it or exploring and experimenting with it. We want to be not only mindful of our conclusions in aligning of the values or goals that we want to pursue or the purpose that we believe we are after or that we're exploring, but we also want to be mindful of those feelings that we became attuned to in the first step of the 5 A's. Because the reality is, especially when we're attuned to positive emotions like joy or wonder or curiosity or gratitude, these are expansive and they actually motivate us to action. Keep aligned to the values and keep attuned to the feelings that go with these positive values. that is really helpful in motivating you towards activating towards your purpose. Often in modern culture, we can take goals and purpose really seriously and kind of go uber purpose. What I'm talking about in activating on a daily basis is a small micro step, because this allows us to get feedback on what does matter, what brings joy in our lives. So this is thinking about what is the small step that you can actually make forward that enables you to get a little closer or dial into that sense of purpose. When we are active, especially when we are proactive in a way that is aligned with what matters most to us, boom, dopamine, good, lasting chemical reactions, things that are lasting and shape and sculpt a life occur for us.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Next week, Pam will wrap up this series on the 5 A's of spiritual health with an exploration of assessment. Until then, you can find a wealth of practices and resources on our website, thethrivecenter.org. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Within 4 to catch each of our weekly episodes this fall. We'll be back next Monday.
Within 4 is a production of the Thrive Center at Fuller Theological Seminary.
For more information, visit our website, thethrivecenter.org, where you'll find all sorts of resources to support your pursuit of wholeness and a life of thriving on purpose. I am so grateful to the staff and fellows of the Thrive Center and our Within 4 podcast team. Jill Westbrook is our senior director and producer. Lauren Kim is our operations manager. Ren Jurgensen is our social media graphic designer. Evan Rosa is our consulting producer. And special thanks to the team at Fuller Studio and the Fuller School of Psychology and Marriage and Family Therapy. I'm your host, Dr. Pam King. Thank you for listening.